Number 1. The ridiculous laws that you won't believe. In the Philippines, motorcycles are closely intertwined with the daily lives of the people. On the streets, motorcycles appear so frequently that if you don't use this mode of transportation, you are almost going against the common rhythm of life. However, if you want to ride one, make sure you are wearing shoes. This is taken very seriously, as this regulation is clearly stated in the country's traffic laws. The Philippine government believes that wearing shoes better protects the feet in the event of an accident, and this law applies to both the driver and the passenger. If caught wearing flip-flops, you could face a fine of $20, and more seriously, your driver's license could be permanently revoked. However, this is not the most surprising law for tourists. In some areas of the Philippines, gossiping can also lead to trouble. In the city of Moreno, part of the capital Manila, authorities have enacted regulations to penalize those deemed to be spreading rumors or speaking ill of others. This law has been in effect since 2017 to curb fake news and hold citizens accountable for their words. On the surface, this seems reasonable, but the issue lies in the fact that the text does not clearly define what constitutes a rumor. This means that the police can arbitrarily decide when you are considered to be talking too much. For a first offense, you may only be fined about $3.50 and required to perform 3 hours of community service. If you continue to offend, the fine will increase to $20, along with 8 hours of trash collection. If you have an annoying neighbor, you might want to be aware of the law known as unjust vexation. Under this regulation, anyone can sue another person if they feel disturbed. The penalty can be as high as nearly $1,000, along with 1 month of imprisonment. A typical case occurred in March 2025 when a man forgot to turn off his water faucet, causing his neighbor to hear the sound of running water all night. As a result, he was taken to court and fined $300. And if you find yourself in any disputes while in the Philippines, make sure you are dressed in a suit and wearing dress shoes. The laws here stipulate that government offices will not accept individuals deemed to be inappropriately dressed. The concept of appropriate dress is clearly outlined in the law, which includes collared shirts, long pants, and mandatory shoes. This has caused discontent among many citizens who feel that the government is discriminating against the poor and minority groups, who are the ones that should receive the most support. Number 2, the strange cultural traits in the Philippines. If you have the opportunity to be invited to a meal at the home of a Filipino, especially in a rural area, you will soon realize that they have a very unique way of dining, often referred to as family style. In this manner, dishes are served in large bowls or plates placed in the center of the table, and everyone serves themselves using chopsticks, spoons, or simply their hands. For Filipinos, eating with their hands allows them to experience the food more vividly, while your feelings about it might be quite different. What makes many foreign tourists feel uneasy is that even if someone is coughing or has a cold, they still eat together very naturally. Imagine someone just coughing, then happily shaping rice with their hands, and looking at you with goodwill as if inviting you to share. You can certainly accept if you wish, but personally, I might come up with an excuse of chronic stomach pain or receive an urgent call to leave the meal as soon as possible. Another experience that can easily surprise tourists is the local bathroom habits. In the Philippines, finding toilet paper is not an easy task, even in shopping malls or hotels. Instead, locals use a traditional method called tabo. Next to the toilet, there is usually a large bucket of water, and you will use small cups to clean yourself. In rural areas, you might even have to fetch water from a well before using it. Trust me, the feeling of scooping water while racing against the deadline of your stomach will surely be an unforgettable memory. After finishing, many Filipinos put their clothes back on without drying their lower bodies. And what about their hands? In some cases, the shirt they are wearing might become an impromptu aid. Therefore, to avoid finding yourself in such a situation, it's advisable to prepare dry tissue or wet wipes in your backpack. When communicating with Filipinos, you should also pay attention to manners. For peers, a light handshake is sufficient. However, be careful to keep it gentle. If you grip too tightly, they may misunderstand it as a display of confrontation. For older individuals, it is inappropriate to put your arm around their shoulder or speak casually. The most respectful greeting is to shake hands with the right hand and then gently bring their hand to your forehead. Lastly, there is a small but very important point. Never joke by comparing others to animals. In the Philippines, this action is considered a serious offense. If you accidentally call someone a panda just because they have dark circles under their eyes, you are likely to face a reaction involving 5 fingers. In such a situation, the best advice is to smile, apologize, and silently pray that the hit won't be too painful. Number 3. A place where women lack affection. In the history of the Philippines, women were once seen as symbols of power and spirituality. They were known as babaylan, figures who held a special place in community life. Babaylan were believed to possess healing abilities, communicate with deities, and lead important rituals. Historical records of the nation indicate that they had a significant influence on the thoughts and actions of the entire community. While in Europe, religious power was concentrated in the hands of the Pope. In pre-colonial Philippines, that power resided with the babaylan. However, after many centuries, the image of Filipino women has changed completely. They no longer stand at the center of rituals but appear under the spotlight. Today, the Philippines is one of the most successful countries on the beauty pageant map, ranking 3rd globally with a total of 15 crowns in the 4 largest competitions in the world. From 2013 to 2018, the country had at least one representative winning the top title each year. International media at the time likened the beauty of women in the Philippines to the abundance of fallen leaves in autumn. If you attend the Sinulog Festival in Cebu or Flores de Mayo, you will see that this statement is not an exaggeration. On stage, they appear in vibrant and captivating costumes. And if you look long enough, you might even feel your vision improving without needing to add more carrots to your diet. Despite their striking appearance and significant roles in society, the emotional lives of Filipino women are not easy. Along with Vatican City, the Philippines is one of only 2 countries in the world that still does not allow divorce. This has left many individuals trapped in marriages with no way out. According to a 2024 survey by social weather stations, only 45% of Filipino women reported feeling happy in their marriages, the lowest level ever recorded. From once being believed to be able to converse with deities, many Filipino women now find themselves without the right to say goodbye. As a result, an increasing number of young women are choosing to distance themselves from traditional marriage models. A report released in June 2025 indicated that 60% of young women in the Philippines decided to remain single, equivalent to about 20 million people. Instead of marrying locally, many of them wish to build relationships with American or Western men. The primary reasons stem from similarities in language and lifestyle compatibility. A survey of 30,000 women conducted by social weather stations found that 82% of those married to Western men felt satisfied with their marital lives. If you want to learn more about ways to make an impression and dating tips with Filipino women, please leave a comment with the number 3. I will share with you insights that are not commonly discussed elsewhere. Number 4. The political showbiz. If you think politics is just about dry speeches aimed at rallying votes, you might not have looked into the Philippines. In the 2022 election, former Vice President Leni Robredo organized an event called the People's Concert to support her campaign. True to its name, the program featured little in the way of lengthy speeches, instead showcasing performances by singers and rappers with lively rhythm. Notably, Robredo transformed part of her speech into a catchy, easy-to-remember song. On social media, many videos circulated showing tens of thousands of people singing Rosas, a musical adaptation of her speech. This song, performed by Nika Del Rosario, is still available on platforms like Spotify and YouTube. Robredo's approach quickly created a strong ripple effect. Young people and the artistic community, groups that typically showed little interest in politics, began to participate in large numbers and join in the songs at her concert. As a result, Robredo secured the position of Vice President of the Philippines during that period. Following Robredo's story is another unique case of someone who once held the highest office in the Philippines, Joseph Estrada. He is a former president, but in the memories of many citizens, he is better known as a famous action movie star. In the 1998 election, Estrada won with over 10.7 million votes, outpacing the second-place candidate by nearly 3 million votes. This overwhelming victory is attributed to the people's hero image he portrayed in films like Pusong Yuha and Magdusaka. That persona helped him connect with the working class and the poor, who made up a significant portion of the Philippine population at the time. Although Philippine politicians have always known how to attract attention through concerts, online shows, or public engagement activities. The country's politics still exist within a framework of contradictions and complexities. The Philippines operates under a presidential republic model, where the president serves as both the head of state and the head of government, as well as the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. A notable aspect of Philippine politics is the highly fragmented party system. Dozens of small parties coexist, frequently changing alliances and factions after each election. No party maintains a long-term dominant position like those in the U.S. or many European countries. Additionally, the Philippines is one of the few countries that allows citizens to vote for the president and vice president separately, leading to a common situation where the two highest leadership positions belong to opposing parties. Number 5. The most bizarre dish in the world. Have you ever thought that you might have to eat food retrieved from a garbage bin? In the Philippines, particularly in slum areas, this has become a part of daily life. This food is called pagpag, which in the local language means to shake off the dirt. For many, this is hard to accept, but for the impoverished residents here, pagpag has become a means of survival. Pagpag primarily comes from food waste generated by fast food outlets, restaurants, or large markets. After being collected, leftover food is sorted, rinsed with water, and then deep fried in hot oil. This process makes the food smell more appealing and somewhat masks any signs of spoilage. Pagpag is then divided into small portions and sold to the poor at very low prices, just a few pesos per serving. The existence of pagpag stems from poverty, unemployment, and food prices that are beyond the reach of many people. According to the World Bank, around 18 million Filipinos, equivalent to nearly 17% of the population, still live below the poverty line. Following the COVID-19 pandemic and various global upheavals, food prices have continued to rise. Additionally, natural disasters and floods have repeatedly disrupted agricultural production, making rice a luxury item for many families. A 2023 report from the EFE organization indicated that approximately 630,000 Filipinos rely on pagpag, although the actual number may be significantly higher. A survey in the capital, Manila, found that 10 out of 15 respondents eat pagpag at least 3 times a week to save on costs. It is estimated that up to 1/3 of the national population considers pagpag a familiar part of their daily meals. However, the regular consumption of pagpag poses numerous health risks. Medical studies in Manila indicate that over 60% of children living in slum areas have experienced diarrhea or food poisoning after consuming this type of food. The Philippine Institute of Food and Nutrition Research warns that pagpag often contains E. coli and salmonella bacteria, which can cause intestinal inflammation, typhoid fever, and even lead to death for those with weakened immune systems. The level of malnutrition is also alarming, with nearly 30% of children under 5 in impoverished urban areas being stunted, and pagpag has been identified as a direct cause. What do you think about this special food? If it makes you appreciate your daily meals more, please leave a comment with the number 4. Number 6. The mixed culture. The Philippines is the only country in Asia named after a European king. The story begins in 1543, when Spanish explorer Ruy López de Villalobos set foot on the islands of Leyte and Samar. To express his loyalty to the reigning monarch, he named the land Las Islas Filipinas in honor of King Philip II. To add a bit more context, Philip II belonged to the Habsburg dynasty, one of the most powerful families in early modern Europe. He is regarded as the most influential king of his family during his reign and was responsible for expanding the empire to its peak. However, Villalobos likely could not have imagined that the name he used to curry favor would outlast the reign of this king by more than 10 times. After arriving on the islands, the Spanish began to turn the Philippines into a colony. They brought churches, the Bible, and European-style festivals such as Christmas and Easter. 330 years under Spanish rule transformed the Philippines into the largest Catholic nation in Asia. Nevertheless, the Spanish presence did not last forever. In 1898, they were forced to withdraw after losing a war with the United States. The Americans took over the entire archipelago and quickly turned it into a model backyard. They introduced a school system, press, the English language, and even hamburgers. Not long after, during World War II, neighboring Asian countries invaded, forcing the local population to learn both Tagalog and Japanese. The consequences of this process are quite clear. as the Philippines is now one of the most English-proficient countries in Asia. If King Philip II were still alive, he might find it hard to believe that the country named after him could sing karaoke in English for him. In addition to English, the other official language of the country is Filipino. Ironically, this language is formed from a blend of Tagalog, English, and Spanish. This explains why, even when listening to locals converse, you can still somewhat guess the content of their discussions. Number 7. They live with the dead. In the Philippines, the severe housing shortage has forced many people to seek out very unusual living arrangements. One of the most haunting images is that of thousands of individuals residing in cemeteries in the capital, Manila. With no other options available, they utilize graves as shelter, constructing makeshift homes right on or next to the tombs. The root cause of this situation stems from rapid population growth, while soaring property prices have made the dream of homeownership unattainable for the poor. Additionally, the uneven distribution of the population exacerbates urban pressure. The Philippines has over 7,000 islands, but Luzon alone is home to more than half of the country's population. Although it is the largest island, Luzon covers just over 100,000 square kilometers, leading to overcrowding. High real estate prices and a lack of affordable housing have pushed many people to seek refuge in places few would consider, such as cemeteries. In the North Manila Cemetery, it is estimated that around 10,000 people live interspersed among the graves. They set up tents, build homes from wood and old metal sheets, or utilize unused graves as living spaces. Daily life here continues almost normally, with activities such as cooking, washing clothes, watching television, taking care of children, and even singing karaoke among the tombs. What surprises many is that some residents believe life in the cemetery is more comfortable than in the nearby slums. Here, they can avoid the rain and wind while earning a living in the area. Many work as gravestone engravers, caretakers of graves, or participate in funeral-related activities such as digging graves, cleaning, and assisting with burials. The average income is only about $400 a year, but for them, that amount is sufficient to sustain their lives. Every day, around 80 funerals are held in the cemetery, providing relatively stable employment for the residents. However, available land is gradually running out. Alongside this, they face serious issues such as a lack of drainage systems, pollution, and deteriorating living conditions. Nevertheless, compared to paying high rents in dangerous slums or living on the streets, for many poor individuals, residing in a cemetery is still seen as the least risky option. Have you ever seen anyone living in a cemetery? If you find this experience truly frightening, please leave a comment with the number 6. Number 8. The homeland of the yo-yo. Few people know that a seemingly Western toy like the yo-yo has a strong connection to the Philippines. Many archaeologists believe that the yo-yo originated in ancient Greece over 2,500 years ago. However, there are also numerous documents indicating that this game was actually created by ancient Filipinos much earlier. The real turning point for the yo-yo occurred in the 20th century, linked to a Filipino immigrant named Pedro Flores. After moving to the United States, he began mass-producing wooden yo-yos and invented the sleeping trick, which allowed the yo-yo to spin freely in the air before returning to the player's hand. Recognizing the product's potential, American entrepreneur Donald F. Duncan Sr. acquired Pedro Flores' company and introduced the yo-yo to the global market under the brand name Duncan Yo-Yo. This decision transformed the yo-yo into a cultural phenomenon, beloved by millions of children around the world. Notably, the name yo-yo comes from the Ilocano language, a native language of the Philippines, meaning to go back and forth, aptly describing the characteristic movement of this toy. Another cultural aspect of the Philippines that surprises the world is how its people celebrate Christmas. This country is often regarded as having the longest Christmas season on the planet, lasting 4 months, from September to January. As early as the end of August, shopping malls begin playing familiar Christmas tunes. By September, the streets are filled with lights, Christmas trees, and paroles, star-shaped lanterns that symbolize the guiding light of Christ. In December, families gather for warm evening feasts, while the series of Simbang Gabi, consisting of 9 consecutive early morning masses, attracts large crowds of worshippers. What is particularly special is that the Christmas season in the Philippines does not end when the new year begins. It continues until the 3rd Sunday of January. This is when the entire country celebrates the Santo Niño de Cebu festival to honor the Christ child. During this time, vibrant parades and lively performances take place throughout the streets, keeping the festive atmosphere alive for several months. Number 9. Famous tourist destinations. Boracay offers visitors a feeling of being transported to a space detached from the daily grind, where all pressures seem to melt away under the radiant golden sun. The soft white sand stretches along with crystal clear waters that beckon anyone to immerse themselves in the refreshing sea. The tranquility of the day quickly gives way to a vibrant atmosphere as night falls. Beachfront bars come alive with upbeat music, and the shimmering lights reflecting on the water create a dazzling and lively scene. From the relaxed feeling of sitting on the beach, enjoying a cocktail, to energetic activities like snorkeling or sailing at sunset, Boracay is not just a vacation spot, but also a place to recharge one's life energy. Leaving Boracay, Palawan captivates many with its pristine and majestic natural beauty. This elongated island is a harmonious blend of lush forests, limestone mountains, and emerald bays. The world-famous Puerto Princesa underground river takes visitors deep into the heart of the mountain, where dim light and the echoing sounds of bats create an atmosphere that is both mysterious and enchanting. In El Nido and Coron, towering limestone formations rise from the crystal-clear waters, creating a scene reminiscent of a giant watercolor painting. The people of Palawan constantly remind each other about sustainable tourism, as they understand that such beauty can only exist if humans cherish and preserve it. If Palawan is the love song of nature, then Intramuros is the epic of history. Amid the bustling capital of Manila, the ancient walled city stands as a witness to time. The cobblestone streets, moss-covered walls, and the slow clip-clop of Kalesa horses transport one back to the Spanish colonial era. Inside the walls, San Agustin Church and Fort Santiago tell stories of struggle and the yearning for freedom of the Filipino people. Not only does Intramuros serve as a keeper of memories, but it also plays a role in shaping the identity of modern Manila, acting as a bridge between the colonial past and contemporary life. Today, this historic area is both a space for history and a venue for cultural, artistic, and tourism activities, creating a unique soul within a constantly changing city. Cebu opens up a multifaceted journey for travelers. The city preserves historical marks with the Magellan Monument and the Basilica del Santo Niño, while also showcasing a modern face with shopping malls, restaurants, and luxurious resorts. What makes Cebu unique is the connection between culture and nature. Visitors can swim with whale sharks in Oslob, conquer the Kawasan Falls, or immerse themselves in the turquoise waters of Moalboal. As night falls, a golden plate of lechon, paired with the friendly smiles of the Cebuano people, makes every trip feel warm, leaving anyone who departs with a piece of Cebu's soul in their heart. Number 10. Nightlife in the Philippines. As night falls, the Philippines reveals a completely different face from the daytime, where sounds, lights, and the rhythm of nightlife vividly reflect the diversity of this archipelago. From the bustling capital Manila to islands like Cebu and Boracay, the nighttime atmosphere in the Philippines feels both relaxed and friendly, blending modernity with tradition. Locals tend to have late-night lifestyles, often gathering with friends or family in the evenings, especially on weekends, making it easy for visitors to find various activities to experience. Street food becomes a prominent highlight after dark. At night, markets like Mercado Centrale in Manila or Shugbo Mercado in Cebu, visitors will encounter a myriad of stalls selling familiar dishes such as grilled inasal skewers, longanisa sausages, and balut fertilized duck eggs. The aroma from charcoal grills mingles with the sounds of music filling the streets, creating a lively yet intimate atmosphere. Additionally, desserts like the refreshing Halo Halo or caramel-coated fried bananas are also popular among locals during evening gatherings. Not only is the food scene vibrant, but the nightlife in the Philippines is also rich and diverse. The archipelago boasts numerous bars, clubs, and karaoke lounges that stay open late, especially in major tourist centers. Areas like Makati, Quezon, and BGC in Manila are famous for their modern bars, where visitors can enjoy cocktails in a dazzling setting filled with lights and lively music. On tourist islands like Boracay, the outdoor party atmosphere is enhanced by DJ performances on the beach, groups dancing on the sand, and the sound of waves blending with the music. Karaoke, in particular, is considered an essential part of Filipino entertainment culture. Whether in a big city or a small town, you can easily find karaoke bars open until 2 or 3 a.m., where people come together to sing, share joy, and temporarily forget the daily grind. If you appreciate tranquility and want to explore a different side of the Philippines at night, consider strolling through historic neighborhoods like Intramuros in Manila or the Old Port area in Iloilo. The cobblestone streets, soft street lights, and Spanish-style wooden balconies create a nostalgic and serene atmosphere, a stark contrast to the vibrancy of the rest of the city. In coastal areas like El Nido or Siargao, visitors can walk along the sandy shores during low tide, listening to the gentle lapping of the waves, or join firefly watching tours on the river, a gentle yet memorable experience. Regarding safety, major cities like Manila can sometimes be complex at night, especially in less populated areas. However, at key tourist spots like Boracay, Cebu, and Davao, security measures are quite strict. Filipinos are known for their friendliness, openness, and hospitality, making it easy to ask for directions, engage in conversation, or seek dining recommendations from locals. This allows visitors to quickly immerse themselves in the local life without feeling out of place. Number 11. Famous dishes. Adobo is considered the most iconic dish of Filipino cuisine, originating from the way ancient people used vinegar and salt to preserve meat before the advent of refrigeration. Over time, this simple method evolved into a symbolic dish. Adobo has many variations, ranging from chicken and pork to seafood, with each region adding its own unique seasoning. The distinctive feature lies in the cooking process, which combines simmering, braising, and then frying, allowing the meat to absorb the flavors and the sauce to turn a rich, dark brown. For Filipinos, the aroma of adobo in the kitchen is closely tied to family and warm meals, regardless of where they live or their social status. For the Filipino community living abroad, adobo often appears at community gatherings, festivals, or shared meals, evoking the flavors of home. While adobo evokes a sense of familiarity and warmth, pork sisig represents the vibrant spirit of street food. This dish originated in Angeles City, where locals creatively utilized leftover pig heads from American military bases to create a dish known for its crispy, fatty, and spicy flavor. The meat is grilled, fried, then chopped and mixed with onions, chili, and eggs, resulting in a rich and unforgettable combination. Today, sisig is no longer confined to casual eateries, but has made its way into many upscale restaurants and has even been recognized by UNESCO as a local culinary heritage. Continuous innovation has turned sisig into a source of pride for the people of Pampanga. Kare brings an atmosphere of family gatherings and celebrations. With its rich yellow peanut sauce and creamy flavor, this dish is often present at significant events such as weddings, festivals, or family meals. Oxtail, trotters, and various vegetables are slow-cooked until tender, blending beautifully in the smooth peanut sauce. An essential component of kare is the shrimp paste, bagong, which creates a balance of flavors. This dish is not just a meal, but also symbolizes connection, as preparing kare requires patience and care. Qualities often found in family meals. Pancit Canton clearly showcases cultural fusion, as Chinese immigrants brought noodles to the Philippines, and locals transformed this dish into a symbol of longevity. The noodles are quickly stir-fried over high heat with shrimp, meat, and vegetables, retaining their crispness and fresh flavor. Filipinos believe that eating noodles on birthdays or New Year's will bring good luck and a long life. Not only popular domestically, Pancit Canton has also traveled with Filipino students and workers around the world, becoming a dish that embodies their hardworking and optimistic spirit. Finally, there's leche flan, a sweet dessert influenced by Spanish cuisine but adapted to suit local tastes by Filipinos. Made with just eggs, condensed milk, and a layer of caramel, this flan captivates diners with its smooth texture and delicate aroma. During Christmas or birthday celebrations, leche flan almost always graces the dining table, concluding meals with a sweet and familiar aftertaste. Number 12. Mysterious places in the Philippines. On the island of Camiguin in southern Philippines, there exists a very special cemetery, most of which lies submerged beneath the sea, known as the Sunken Cemetery. In 1871, a violent volcanic eruption caused the entire settlement and the ancient cemetery to be engulfed by the ocean. Today, a large cross stands above the water to mark the location of the old cemetery. For the people of Camiguin, the Sunken Cemetery is a symbol closely tied to the collective memory of the community, where they honor their ancestors and the generations that once lived on the land now lying at the bottom of the sea. Thus, The symbol of the cross carries profound spiritual significance and has become a distinctive mark of Camiguin, attracting many visitors. The path to the sunken cemetery is quite convenient. However, to reach the central area, visitors need to rent a small boat or choose a time when the tide is low. The atmosphere here possesses a unique beauty, both tranquil and tinged with mystery. On some days, the sea is so calm that the boat seems to stand still, giving one the sensation that time slows down as they pass through the submerged graves. The seabed in this area is much clearer than the surrounding waters. When sunlight shines down, one can clearly see the bottom layer, patches of seaweed, and coral covering the tombstones below. Some visitors who have participated in diving tours here have reported experiencing an inexplicable phenomenon while swimming through the central area of the cemetery. For a brief few minutes, the surrounding sounds seem to vanish completely, with no clear sounds of the boat's engine or conversations, even though they remain fully alert. Some researchers suggest that this phenomenon may be related to the hard rock structure beneath the shallow water, which has the ability to absorb sound waves and temporarily eliminate noise. However, to date, there has been no official research confirming this phenomenon in Camiguin. Not far away, on the island of Bohol, another natural phenomenon also captivates scientists and tourists alike: the Chocolate Hills. Spanning over 50 square kilometers, thousands of small hills grow closely together, resembling cones with nearly uniform heights. What makes the Chocolate Hills special is not only their similar shapes, but also the strangely quiet atmosphere among the hills. Although the wind blows gently outside, the air seems to be trapped in the valleys, rendering the space almost still. Some survey teams equipped with sound measuring devices have recorded extremely low noise levels in this area, with hardly any sound of wind or external noises. The temperature here is also noticeably lower than in the surrounding regions. Scientists believe that the Chocolate Hills were formed through the natural uplift and erosion of limestone layers over millions of years. However, what puzzles them is the uniformity in shape and spacing between the hills, which is rare in typical geological models. Some hypotheses suggest that this area was once covered by a uniform layer of rock, which was then eroded vertically, creating the current shapes. Nevertheless, no experimental model has accurately replicated this phenomenon to date. Meanwhile, local residents have their own explanations. According to legend, this land was once a playground for the gods, and each hill represents a giant footprint they left behind. Number 13. Unique festivals that travelers should know about. Sinulog in Cebu City is considered one of the largest religious festivals in the Philippines, where spiritual life intertwines with vibrant colors and lively sounds. The festival originated from the event when the people of Cebu embraced the image of the Santo Niño, the child Jesus, symbolizing the deep-rooted Catholic faith in the lives of Filipinos. The Sinulog dance follows the rhythm of 2 steps forward, 1 step back, representing the flow of time and the resilience of faith. Throughout the streets, thousands of dancers in bright costumes move to the pounding drums, creating a scene filled with energy and joy. Beyond its religious significance, Sinulog also reflects the connection between faith, cultural identity, and the tourism development of Cebu. While Sinulog emphasizes Catholic faith, Ati-Atihan in Kalibo evokes pride and heritage and a sense of community spirit. This festival stems from the story of coexistence and harmony between the Malay people and the Ati tribe, the first inhabitants of Panay Island. Participants often paint their faces black and adorn themselves with traditional patterns, showcasing the integration of various ethnic groups. A distinctive feature of Ati-Atihan is the absence of boundaries between performers and spectators. Anyone can dance, drum, and join the crowd in the streets. Music, cheers, and smiles fill the air, clearly reflecting the spirit of equality and solidarity that Filipinos hold dear. In contrast to the bustling atmosphere of the central region, Panagbenga in Baguio City exudes a gentle and vibrant charm, true to its name, which means flower festival. Established after the earthquake in 1990, Panagbenga was created to restore community spirit and celebrate the enduring vitality of nature. The highlight of the festival is the grand flower float parades, where each float is decorated like a colorful work of art. Additionally, the festival expands into a community art space with exhibitions, craft demonstrations, and street performances, transforming the entire city of Baguio into a lively flower garden. The message that Panagbenga conveys is one of hope for renewal and gratitude towards nature. In stark contrast to the urban hustle and bustle, Pahiyas in Lucban, Quezon, embodies the essence of rural life, blending agriculture with folk art. The festival is held to honor San Isidro Labrador, the patron saint of farmers and harvests. Houses are adorned with agricultural products, fruits, vegetables, and especially colorful kaiping, thin rice cakes arranged in floral patterns. Each family is free to be creative in making their home stand out, resulting in a scene filled with color and joy. Pahiyas is not only an occasion to give thanks for a bountiful harvest, but also a space to preserve the cultural, culinary, and artistic values of the Philippines. Number 14. Living expenses. If you are planning a long-term trip or living in the Philippines, understanding the cost of living is a crucial factor. Especially in major cities like Manila and Cebu, expenses can vary significantly depending on lifestyle and personal choices. In the city center, the average rent for a one-bedroom apartment typically ranges from $500 to $650 per month. In contrast, moving to the suburbs can offer much more affordable prices, ranging from $250 to $350. This difference allows renters to flexibly consider their living location and personal budget. When it comes to transportation, jeepneys and buses are popular, economical options that reflect the daily life of the local people. A jeepney ride costs about $0.3 to $0.6, while bus fares usually range from $0.6 to $1. This is a suitable choice for those looking to optimize costs and experience local living. For those prioritizing comfort, taxis and ride-hailing apps like Grab are widely used. A short taxi ride typically costs between $1.5 and $2.5. If you prefer more control over your transportation, you can also rent a car for about $25 to $35 per day, excluding fuel and other incidental costs. Regarding food, if you cook at home, the monthly cost of groceries at local markets usually ranges from $120 to $160. Dining out, a casual meal can cost around $1.2 to $2, while eating at a restaurant may range from $4 to $8 or more, depending on the type and quality of service. In recent years, the cost of living in the Philippines has also been significantly affected by inflation and the strong recovery of the tourism industry. Rental prices in central areas and tourist spots tend to rise faster than before, while food and service costs also fluctuate during peak tourist seasons. This results in a notable difference in actual spending for foreigners and urban residents compared to previous periods. Overall, to maintain a relatively comfortable lifestyle in the Philippines, a single person needs to spend around $600 to $800 per month. If opting for a more frugal lifestyle, this figure can drop to about $500. Conversely, if one wishes to enjoy full amenities, entertainment, and travel, expenses can reach up to $1,000 or more. Number 15. Tips for travelers. When traveling in the Philippines, tourists should exercise particular caution with boat transportation when moving between islands. The country has thousands of large and small islands. The weather can change rapidly, and sea conditions are often unstable, especially during the rainy season. Before setting off, travelers should thoroughly check life jackets, avoid boarding boats when there are weather warnings, and only choose officially licensed transport providers. In major cities like Manila or Cebu, using public transportation should also be considered carefully. Prolonged traffic congestion is quite common, while some taxi drivers may take advantage of this to charge higher fares or take longer routes. Tourists should prioritize reputable ride-hailing apps and monitor their travel routes to minimize risks. Additionally, in Manila, densely populated areas with complex infrastructure, such as parts of Tondo or areas far from the center at night, are often recommended to be avoided. In Cebu, travelers should also be cautious when moving around at night in poorly lit neighborhoods or those far from main tourist routes. While in the Philippines, tourists should be wary of what is commonly referred to as friendly scams, where some individuals may appear overly friendly, initiate conversations, offer assistance, or invite you to free tours. In many cases, this is a way to lead tourists to shops, restaurants, or services with unusually high prices. The safest approach is to politely decline and only accept help from official guides or hotel staff. When traveling to rural areas or islands far from the center, tourists need to pay attention to health conditions and environmental hygiene. Some regions are at risk for dengue fever or skin diseases caused by mosquitoes and insects. It is essential to carry mosquito repellent, topical ointments, and to limit exposure to stagnant water. Finally, cultural and religious factors are also important for travelers to consider when visiting the Philippines, where the majority of the population is Christian. When visiting churches or religious sites, it is necessary to dress modestly, maintain decorum, and avoid taking photos indiscriminately. Respecting local culture not only helps tourists feel more welcomed, but also contributes to a safe and fulfilling trip. After exploring 15 surprising facts about the Philippines, you must have begun to appreciate the unique and captivating aspects of this country. If you found the video interesting, don't forget to like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel to continue joining us on our upcoming journeys. Which fact impressed you the most? Please leave a comment below. I would love to hear your thoughts.